Yeah. Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to episode 8 of Bell Call Podcast. My co-host and sidekick Noah, he is not here. He's been busy with work, and our schedule is very different. We haven't done an episode in 2 months, but didn't want to wait long because I don't know, depending on Noah's schedule. But filling in for Noah is my buddy, Rangers of Wrestling, Datila. How you doing, Datila?
I'm doing good. Yourself?
I'm doing good. Uh, when Noah is unavailable, or he has work, or scheduling stuff, Datila will fill in for him.
If I have time and if I'm
Yes,
available.
if she has time and if she's available. So, next week, hopefully, for episode 9, Noah will return, and we'll go live for episode 9 next week, depending on his schedule. But until we got some good topics to talk about, we're going to talk about Liv Morgan's injury, backstage update on that from Monday Night Raw on Monday, and filming this it's early Wednesday morning here, still Tuesday for Datila because she's on the West Coast. But you guys will be seeing this today on Wednesday. You'll see it earlier, probably like in the evening, like 8 p.m. Eastern my time. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Carlito explaining his level of creative freedom that he got in his recent WWE run. Of course, he ended up getting released. Going to talk about WWE announcing an upcoming super show in Mexico, which, that's pretty cool for the fans down in Mexico. We're going to go into Rikishi. He's mad because of Jey Uso losing the world title to Gunther last week on Monday Night Raw. So his thoughts on that. We're going to talk about Smackdown possibly moving back to 2 hours, which is a rumor now, but we'll see it when we believe it. And then, of course, since Datila is a TNA fan, I gotta talk about TNA launching a streaming service called TNA Plus.
They've already had the streaming service. They're just adding a new tier to it.
Yeah, so we'll go into that, and Datila could give her thoughts on that. But yeah, last night I know Datila didn't review. Monday Datila didn't review Monday Night Raw, but I did. So before we get into the topics, what did you think of Monday Night Raw on Monday?
It was a meh episode, I have to say.
I agree. I thought it was very mid as well.
Last week's Raw, though, was really good.
Yeah. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But it was like they were phoning it in for this week's show.
Mm-hmm.
Like you had Styles beating McDonough. Jey Uso won the King of the Ring match, the Fatal 4-Way, which obviously wasn't surprised about. Goldberg and Gunther has been announced for Saturday night's main event on July 12th. And this is going to be for the World Championship. Yeah, what were your thoughts on Goldberg returning?
I guess the rumors were true after all. I mean, that had long been rumored Goldberg was going to return. And he was going to face Gunther. I didn't know it would be for the title, but I'm not surprised. I mean, it's been rumored for, I think, for a few months now that Goldberg was going to come back and face Gunther.
Yeah, And we all know that this is going to be Goldberg's retirement match. And from the looks of it, he's not going to win the World Heavyweight Championship. I think Gunther is going to beat Goldberg.
Yeah, I think so
Saw
too.
how, and you saw how he came out there. He was like limping to the ring, already sweating. Yeah, you could tell that
Yeah,
this is going to be his final go.
yeah,
But yeah, Monday Night Raw, very mid show was. Me and Datila could agree on that. But into our first topic here, backstage update on Liv Morgan, and this is coming from WrestlingInc.com. I always check my wrestling news from Wrestling Inc. or I use WrestleView. I know Datila, you use PW Insider, right?
yeah. I use PW Insider.
Yeah. So this is backstage update of Liv Morgan's injury, which she was in a match with Kairi Sane, but it didn't. The match ended up getting cut short because of the injury, because Liv Morgan ended up having a shoulder injury. It says right here, PW Insider has reported that the injury to Liv Morgan's shoulder is a legitimate injury, and she has a dislocated shoulder. The injury was not in any way to write her off of TV for an appearance outside WWE. The report added that WWE is awaiting further assessment of the injury, with the report claiming that a severe dislocation could keep her out of action for nearly 16 weeks. So that could be up to like maybe 4 months.
Yeah, so that would pretty much put her like what? Let's see, it's June to July, August, September, October. Yeah, she'd be back maybe in October, November.
Yeah, so she's going to be missing SummerSlam.
But this is assuming that she just dislocated it, right? It doesn't require surgery?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty much a dislocation. It says WWE has yet to determine the seriousness of the injury when the report was filed. Liv Morgan was reportedly tended to by WWE doctors as soon as she was taken backstage, which we saw a little bit of that on Monday Night Raw. The report also stated that there was no heat on anyone for the injury, as it was considered a freak accident. Her right elbow landed heavily on the mat when Kairi Sane performed a single leg takedown. Liv Morgan immediately rolled out of the ring and clutched her arm before being taken to the back by WWE's medical staff. Liv Morgan had only returned to TV on the May 26th edition of Monday Night Raw after she took some time off to be a part of the movie Bad Lieutenant Tokyo, which is going to be released pretty soon. And she, in fact, faced Kairi Sane on that night as well, losing to Kairi. So, yeah, she goes off and films a movie, comes back, and already injured and out again. So, but prayers to Liv Morgan. Hopefully she has a speedy recovery, and she gets back to doing what she does in the ring. And with Liv Morgan being out, I think this is going to be a chance for Roxanne Perez to to do a little bit of stuff, because this is going to possibly lead to, when Liv Morgan gets back, a feud between her and Roxanne Perez. I think when Liv Morgan comes back, she's going to be a babyface. It's the same thing that we saw with Rhea Ripley. When Rhea Ripley was out with an injury, when she came back, she was a full-on babyface. So it's going to be what we're going to see with Liv Morgan when she returns.
So it's unfortunate, if you go back and you watch the spot, she tried to protect herself by putting her, her hands out, which is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But you could see when she lands wrong.
Bottom her arm, like down here, you could tell, like it like popped off the canvas.
Yeah. I was like, oh my god. I was like, she's definitely injured. It sucks.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but speedy recovery. Hopefully, it's not a too bad of an injury.
No, hopefully not. Hopefully it doesn't have to. Hopefully she doesn't have to have surgery for it.
What I think is going to happen, I think this is going to probably speed up Roxanne Perez's storyline. I think what they were probably trying to do was, they were obviously going to, maybe push Liv Morgan out of Judgment Day, and so have Roxanne slowly take over and stuff like that. And I think this is going to, like, speed up her storyline. I think she might replace Liv in all aspects of Judgment Day. Like, let's say Adam Pearce tells Raquel, oh, you're going to be stripped of the tag titles unless you find a replacement or a partner. And then here comes Roxanne Perez to be the replacement or the replacement. Dom just so happens to put his eyes on Raquel, on Roxanne. And then, like you said, when Liv Morgan comes back, she's going to be this baby face and she's going to be feuding with Roxanne Perez, which which makes sense, but I kind of don't like because I feel like it's a rinse and repeat of Rhea Ripley's storyline.
Yeah, as you think of it, but Balor wanted Roxanne Perez in the Judgment Day, and looks like it's going to come into that fruition.
Yeah, and
Liv Morgan's on.
Yeah, I think that's how it's going to play out. Mm-hmm. She's going to take her title, her best friend, and her man. Oh, and her group, too.
And her group, yeah. And she's going to go on this big babyface run. Like I said, it's just like what we saw with Rhea Ripley when she came back.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
How she was out of the Judgment Day, and how she left Dom. So
Dom's turning heel again. He's gonna ditch Liv for Roxanne, just like he did Rhea to Liv.
Yeah. Well, he still is technically a heel, though.
Yeah, he's gonna turn even more heel.
Even more heel, and get more heat from the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, speedy recovery for Liv Morgan. Hopefully, this isn't serious, and it sucks that she's gonna miss SummerSlam. In her hometown of New Jersey. But hopefully it doesn't have to require surgery.
Yeah.
And when she comes back, she's going to be well loved by the fans. Everybody's going to give her a big pop when she returns.
Mm-hmm.
But moving on to the next topic, Carlito. Carlito, of course, was released by WWE, and he ended up explaining his level of creative freedom that he got in his recent WWE run. And Carlito, he was, of course, part of the Judgment Day. He really didn't do anything in the Judgment Day. He was just, a background for them. That's how I see Carlito when
he gave him a PS5. He gave him a PS5 and took it with him.
Yeah, the only thing that he is remembered for in the Judgment Day was playing PS5. And when he got released, he took the PS5 with him. He's like, sorry, guys, I'm on my way out. I'm taking the PS5. Now I'll get to play WWE 2K25 at my house all the time. I don't have to lug the PS5 anymore to these different arenas. So here is article coming from WrestlingInc.com. So right here, Carlito explains his level of creative freedom. Former WWE star and Judgment Day member Carlito is now a free agent after WWE let his contract expire. Unlike R-Truth, or Ron Killens, if you want to call him now, Carlito wasn't brought back into the fold due to fan outrage, but seems at peace with his second run with WWE. He recently spoke about his time in the company on Busted Open Radio and explained that the comedy aspects of his character in Judgment Day were entirely his ideas, as he was given a lot of creative freedom this time around. So the PS5, I guess, creative was by him.
Oh, wow.
Says It says, I orchestrated that. I took literally, we have nothing for you, and I made somebody. I went in there, I said, I'm not going to complain. I'm one of the older guys. I'm not going to get prioritized. I'm not getting pushed, and Hunter's not a fan of Carlito. I think he personally likes me, but I think he never was a big fan of the character. Carlito said he realized he had been added to the hottest group when he was paired with Judgment Day and asked himself how he could stay there. He said he thought the comedy act was missing. He explained that the writers would go to him, and they were the ones to give him more creative freedom. Carlito says, and I quote, so we have this backstage. We don't have anything for you here, but we were hoping you kind of like Carlito Fiat. Carlito Fiat is what they would say. So I kind of just take the script, find where I could kind of do something. Then every week it was great. They would just hand me a thing, do what you do. They gave me total freedom to do whatever I kind of wanted. So it's pretty cool that Carlito had, some creative freedom in the stuff that he did with the Judgment Day, which something I never thought. I never thought that they would give Carlito that kind of freedom to do whatever he wants.
I'm pretty surprised by that because I didn't think those were all his ideas, but you know what? Like, it actually worked.
It kind of did.
Yeah, like the whole Apple thing when he dropped the Apple or the whole PS5. Yeah, like I didn't know those were all his ideas. It's pretty cool.
I mean, he still had the Apple, back in the day because that suited his gimmick.
Yeah.
Only he wasn't spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
Right. I wish we could have seen the return of Carlitos Cabana.
Yeah, but considering he was in the Judgment Day, there was no way that they were going to bring back the Cabana.
I know.
But Carlitos Cabana was very creative because it was just his talk show, and he had a beach chair in there. He had a hammock. He had like I think he had the palm trees in like the corner of the ring, and a basket of apples. I thought that was very creative. For
everybody had a talk show back then, and yeah, I think Carlitos stood out because it wasn't like your typical talk show background.
Yeah, like, welcome to Carlitos Cabana. But we had Carlitos Cabana. We had
the highlight reel.
The highlight reel with Chris Jericho. Of course, Piper's Pit.
Piper's Pit, yeah.
There was a time where he brought that back.
Mm-hmm.
And then like
the Cutting Edge.
Yeah, the Cutting Edge. A Moment of Bliss, which we all want to forget that. Yeah. Or as I would call it, or JD from New York 206 would call it, a moment of piss.
What was Bailey's? Bailey's
was Ding Dong Hello.
Oh, yeah, Ding Dong Hello. Oh, don't forget. Oh, crap! I had it, but I forgot. Damn, I had it, but it slipped my mind.
It'll come to you.
Yeah, it will. Oh, the Kevin Owens show.
The Kevin Owens show, yeah. They gave everybody a talk show.
Yeah, they did.
And nowadays, I like that they're doing less of that. They're doing very less of talk shows. Yeah. But of course, you could say that was all like a Vince McMahon creative decisions there.
Definitely. Didn't Christian have one too?
Had the Peep Show. Yeah, the Peep Show.
The Peep Show, yeah. I remember that.
Good memories of those old talk shows that they used to do.
Yeah.
And they were entertaining. They weren't boring like what you had of like Moment of Bliss and Kevin Owens show from time to time was entertaining, but there's some that were very meh.
I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing the return of a talk show, but I think it would have to be with the right part. I mean, the Waller effect with
Oh yeah,
Grayson
Grayson
Waller,
Waller. The Waller
that was the
effect,
most recent one, and he stopped doing that. He kind of just dropped that.
yeah, it kind of wasn't getting over.
Yeah, it wasn't.
I mean, there were times that he would do the Grayson Waller show and he would be live on Instagram, also from the show, which I thought that was kind of cool at points. So, but nobody recently, since Grayson Waller, has had a talk show.
Yeah.
But yeah, Carlito, talking about him having this good creative freedom, I really like that he came out and said that, he gave what to do.
Yeah.
And WWE let him just run with it.
Yeah.
But he's now a free agent, so we'll like to see where he goes. Probably back to the Indies. But next is WWE announces details of a upcoming Super Show that's going to be held in Mexico. And this is pretty cool for the fans down in Mexico. Of course, Datila was at Worlds Collide during Money in the Bank weekend. And she said it was a fun show.
I actually liked Worlds Collide a lot better than I did Money in the Bank.
Oh, nice. I like the whole setup that they had for Worlds Collide with the flag, with the ring ropes as the flag, which was cool. It looked like a small venue, though. The Kia, is it the Kia Forum or the Kia Center?
Yeah, it was like the Kia Forum.
The Kia Forum. Yeah, it was a small venue, but from the photos I saw of it, pretty cool. So we got a shot there of El Cero Miedo, Penta.
Penta es Cero Miedo.
Says 2025 has seen WWE care about the country of Mexico more than ever before. A change motivated by the promotion's purchase, WWE's purchase of Lucha Libre AAA back in April. Which that was a good move.
I don't think it was motivated by their purchase of AAA. I think, give me 1 second, hold on.
So we have right here, 2025 has seen WWE care about the country of Mexico more than ever before. A change motivated by the promotion's purchase of Lucha Libre AAA back in April. And I know that you said that you didn't think WWE, purchased this. So what were you going to say about that?
No, I do. No, it had nothing to do with the purchase. But what I was going to say was, I don't think they were really motivated by their purchase, because it's kind of a coincidence that they announced Worlds Collide the same week that AEW announced AEW Grand Slam.
Yeah.
So I think this had more to do with AEW going into Mexico and then them acquiring Tipa and trying to go into Mexico too. So that's just me though.
Yeah. It says, while AAA has continued to run shows in Mexico under WWE's guidance, WWE themselves have yet to officially step back into the country. But with the summer quickly approaching, that will change as WWE prepares for its yearly trek south of the border. In a press release unveiled Monday morning, WWE announced they would be returning to Mexico with 2 super shows in July, the first being held in Mexico City on July 26th, with the second taking place a day later in Monterrey on July 27th.
Monterrey.
There you go.
Monterrey.
Yeah. See, I had Datila here to help me with these. The announcements were a formality as fans attend events in Arena Ciudad de Mexico.
Arena Ciudad de Mexico and Arena Monterrey.
Thank you, Datila. This past weekend had noted advertising for the WWE shows displayed on screen. So this was, I guess there was a concert that was held there, and they advertised this on the screen. So there you go. They're going to be calling it Super Show Mexico. So you got there in Monterrey and Mexico City. Monterrey and Mexico City.
Or Monterrey.
There you go. I'm glad I had Datila to help me with these. While no matches were announced for the event, several talents were, including Cody Rhodes, Dominic Mysterio, Jey Uso, Jacob Fatu, The New Day, and World Heavyweight Champion Gunther. Several luchadors were also announced, including Penta and Rey Fenix, Stephanie Vaquer, and AAA talents, such as Psycho Clown, Pagano, and Worlds Collide sensation Misty Iguana, which I heard, Datila, that he was over at Worlds Collide.
He was. The crowd was into Iguana. I want to Mr. Iguana. Let me tell you that. He was really fun.
I like the whole I like the whole look of Misty Iguana, with him looking like an iguana and having the I guess you could say like sock looking iguana.
Homie crawled to the ring like an iguana. That's great, man. Like, he was fun. I liked him.
I gotta check it out.
You didn't watch Worlds Collide?
I did not watch Worlds Collide. I was at work.
It's a really fun show, and I'm gonna be totally honest. Like, even though I'm a Latina Mexican descent, I don't watch I don't watch Lucha Libre, so I don't watch CMML either.
I don't even know what channel CMLL is on, but I know their talent because they appeared on AEW on Dynamite.
Same. And, I know their talent because they appeared on AEW.
On Dynamite and Collision at points. The WWE booking may cause Psycho Clown to miss a show, as he's scheduled to appear at a AAA show in Puerto Vallarta on July 26th. Yeah, on July 26th, the same day as WWE's Mexico City Super Show. So I guess AAA is doing a show there the same day. Curiously, one AAA talent not mentioned was AAA Mega Champion El Hijo del Vikingo, which I like Vikingo. We've seen him wrestle on Dynamite and Collision from time to time. He's wrestled in AEW, and he's good in the ring.
He's amazing. If you ever get to see him live, it's such a treat seeing him wrestle live. I've gotten to see him wrestle live a couple times already.
Awesome.
I actually met El Hijo del Vikingo last year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, nice, he was at TNA's Hard to Kill. And he did a meeting greet after the show, and he put the Triple Mega Campeón on me.
Oh, nice.
He put the title on me, and I took a picture. So it was really nice. It was cool.
Probably a heavy title.
Yeah.
Says El Hijo del Vikingo, WWE has made a concerted effort to push as a top star ever since buying the promotion. Vikingo won the Mega Championship back at the end of May, defeating Alberto El Patron, who we all know as Alberto Del Rio in WWE. And then he retained the title against Chad Gable at Worlds Collide, which I heard was a good match.
Hell yeah. Fucking awesome match. You need to see that. That's the only reason I went to Worlds Collide, because when that match was announced, I was like, I need to see this match live.
Nice.
Yeah, it was an
incredible match.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, hopefully I check out Worlds Collide at some point. I mean, it's on Peacock. So
I think this is the first time WWE goes to Mexico since I know the last time they aired Raw and SmackDown from Mexico was in 2012, and it was the same year that Mil Máscaras got inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yes. Yeah, that was the last time that they went to Mexico.
Yeah.
And it was pretty good. I would like WWE to do that for like a Raw and SmackDown, like one year back in 2005, they went to Japan for
I
Raw and
remember that.
SmackDown, and that was awesome. They need to do like a Raw and SmackDown back in Japan or Italy. I could imagine, a big show that they would have in Rome in Italy if they booked the Coliseum there in Italy.
What's the time difference?
Yeah, it all comes down to the time differences.
Because remember when they did Raw in Glasgow or like over in Europe and stuff? It was like on at during lunchtime for me. It was on like at 12.
Yeah, but now like with Netflix, like if they're overseas, they go live 3 p.m. here, 12 p.m. Your time, because that's what happened. And it was good seeing Raw in the afternoon.
Oh yeah, it's always great seeing wrestling early and ends early. Raw, it starts at 5, ends at 7:30 for me.
Yeah, here 8 o'clock to 10:30.
Oh, yeah, I don't miss those days. That's for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, I like that they're bringing the Super Show down to Mexico. Hopefully, next at some point we got a Raw and SmackDown from Mexico.
If they go to Tijuana or like Guadalajara, somewhere like I would so be down to go to those shows. I think it'd be cheaper to go to a Mexico show than it would be here.
Yeah, but hopefully that happens, and you get to go down there.
I remember one time, I think I still have the picture. I just have to look for it. I remember one time I went to Tijuana, and this was like years ago. Might have been 2016, I think, or a little bit before 2016. I don't remember. But I went to Tijuana, and they had, like, as soon as they crossed the border into Tijuana, they had an advertisement advertising SmackDown, like, oh, watch SmackDown. And it was, I think, Randy Orton, and I took a picture next to it, but I had to find that picture. Yeah, I had to find that picture because I don't know where it's at. But it was
like a banner.
Yeah, it was just a banner. It was just like, those like the promotional banner. Yeah, it was just a promotional banner. So yeah, I crossed it and I saw it. I was like, oh look, and I took a picture next to it. I just gotta find that picture because it was like years ago. It was probably more than 10 years ago, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
probably more than 10. Probably find that on eBay, maybe.
No, it was just like those posters that they use. It was yeah, it was just like one of those posters. It was just your regular SmackDown poster. It was not like nothing special to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, good that they're bringing a Super Show down to Mexico, and whoever is going to the show down in Mexico, have fun. Next, we got Rikishi got mad over Jey Uso's world title loss to Gunther. And, of course, this is coming from Wrestling Inc. And, of course, Jey Uso lost the title to Gunther last week on Monday Night Raw in the main event. A total of 50 days, I think, that Jey held the title. So we have here, I said it's coming from Wrestling Inc. It says Jey Uso might be a top merch seller on WWE who can get entire arenas to sing along to his theme, Yeet. But he is no longer the World Heavyweight Champion after losing the title to Gunther last week on Monday Night Raw. Jey Uso won the belt at WrestleMania 41, meaning his first world title reign concludes after just 51 days. Yeah, 51 days that Jey Uso held the title. While fans are split on the decision, one person who's not happy is Jey Uso's father, who, of course, we all know, WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi. And he ends up saying right here, 51 days for this champion, which he ended up saying this on his podcast, Rikishi Fatu Off the Top, knowing that his son generates a lot of income for WWE through his merch sales. Are we talking about a kid that 16 plus years that put in work? We're talking about a kid that combined with his brother merchandise sales through the roof as a tag team. now breaks off in a single competitor. If you can tell me that anybody else is selling any merchandise higher than Yeet, I want you to tell me by all means. Rikishi said Jey put his heart and soul into getting into the main event spot, but that he now feels that the writers didn't do his son justice. He kept saying, you didn't feed this champion the right talent to be able to continue to make this champion. Not a fair shot in my eyes. So you go 51 days. I say fire them. Fire those that are writing for this kid here. Rikishi specifically blamed the writers for not being able to write a compelling angle for Jey and to get him the world title belt. He explained that he has no beef with Gunther or anyone on the roster, but impelled that if Jey's high merch sales couldn't cut it, the bar might be unreachable. So he ends up saying, what is it against my boy? Would you have done that to Randy Orton if he threw the belt on Randy Orton? Would you have done that to, John Cena? He kept saying, back when it was COVID, who kept WWE afloat? Come on. You want to tell him you want to go there? And Rikishi concluded that his family carried WWE through the COVID era long before TKO existed. So, yeah, he is pretty mad that, his son had a little reign with the World Heavyweight Championship and not a very successful long reign. But I don't blame Rikishi.
I don't blame Rikishi for being mad. Obviously, that's his son. Not everybody needs a Roman Reigns title reign, of 1,000 days.
4 years.
Yeah, 4 years, basically. I do think Jey Uso's title reign was a little lackluster. And it's all due to creative. Like, I really thought Jey was going to hold on to that belt and Seth Rollins was going to cash in on him.
Yeah.
I thought that's what this was. I thought that his involvement with Seth's storyline, that's where it was going. That's why I was really surprised that Gunther defeated him, because I really thought it was going to go. I kind of thought he was going to hold the belt at least until SummerSlam.
I thought that too.
But that didn't happen. And only 51 days. I mean, he made Gunther tap out. He's forever going to be known that he made Gunther tap out. But what came of it?
Absolutely nothing.
A mediocre title reign, only lasting 51 days. I think he had 5 title defenses, right? Well, 6 and 5 successful ones, no?
Yeah.
So I don't blame Rikishi for being mad.
Yeah. He stayed in that, it's his own opinion. He has a right to be mad at creative for not giving his son the right material to have an opponent to have him defend the title.
Yeah. Like, I thought that maybe the Jey would have done like this whole redemption title defenses, like give everybody he screwed out of a title shot. When he back in was the blind, a title opportunity.
That would have been the right way to go.
Yeah. But
when I saw him lose, when I saw him losing to Gunther, I'm like, yeah, they're putting the title back on Gunther because they had nothing else planned for Jey. So we're just going to put the title right back on Gunther.
Yeah.
Which I don't have a problem with. I enjoy Gunther as the champion.
I don't have a problem with Gunther being champion either, but like, I thought they were going to do something with him and Liv Kaser.
Yeah, but they dropped that.
They dropped that too. So
now Kaiser's out.
Yeah,
he's been out. But yeah, he has every right to be mad.
Yeah, of course he does. And again, that's his son.
Now moving on to this SmackDown, possibly moving back to 2-hour broadcast. Hopefully this is the case, because they said that SmackDown was going to go back to 2 hours this month, and look where we are now. The show is still at 3 hours. And this is a whole USA move with why SmackDown is still at 3 hours. And I heard that USA is not earning extra, income for the third hour of SmackDown. Now, me and Datila have said this when Monday Night Raw was 3 hours, that a pro wrestling show does not need to be 3 hours. It doesn't. No other wrestling show besides Monday Night Raw has been 3 hours. Look at Dynamite, 2 hours. Collision,
4 hours these
2
past
hours.
2 weeks.
Yeah, Dynamite and Collision for like 2 weeks already. I think it's 2 weeks. 4 hours. 4 hours of AEW television. And you know, me and Datila have not been covering AEW because of how lackluster their creative is. The creative is horrendous. And the shows are just not as entertaining as they once were. And with SmackDown here, 3 hours of SmackDown is just awful, in my opinion. Basically, the third hour is just filler. It's just filler stuff. And me and Datila could vouch for me on this. SmackDown, covering SmackDown, reviewing SmackDown for 3 hours, it's just a chore. It's just a chore to review. Yeah, Datila could vouch for me for that, because she could say the same. She has not reviewed SmackDown in weeks.
I have to say, like, SmackDown needs to go back to 2 hours.
I agree. We said that for years about Monday Night Raw, and we didn't get that until Netflix, till this year.
My thing with SmackDown is that sometimes it starts off okay, and then like it'll go, and then it'll just dip, and then try to pick up again. So it doesn't even pick up.
Yeah, that's how I feel. It kind of fluctuates as we get into half of the second hour, and then the third hour is just. That's how it is. That's how we said it for years about Monday Night Raw.
See, I think SmackDown would be watchable if it would being 3 hours if it was a little bit more like, how can I say this? It's just too much. It's just too long. They could make 3 hours watchable if they just, I don't know, like something's just definitely missing from SmackDown,
Yeah. It needs that energy going into the third hour.
Yeah, I mean, when Triple H took over creative and Raw was still 3 hours, we had Raws that weren't that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had Raws that weren't that bad.
They weren't as bad as 2018, 2019 Raw.
Yeah, exactly. So
even going back.
I feel like SmackDown, I don't want to say it's 2018 Raw or 2019 Raw, because SmackDown is not that it's bad. It's just too long sometimes,
Yeah, exactly. So
it says something to give it that extra pizzazz.
I agree. I also agree. So SmackDown could reportedly be moving back to 2 hours due to a new show set to debut on the USA Network later this summer. Dave Meltzer noted on X, formerly Twitter, that on Tuesday that the Blue brand could possibly lose its third hour due to the Rainmaker, which is a new show debuting on August 15th at 10 p.m. As you know, August 15th is a Friday, so you tell right there. SmackDown's on a Friday. So the show has nothing to do with AEW's Continental Champion Kazuchika Okada. Meltzer cited a Variety report about the show, which included the trailer for the series adaptation of John Grisham's legal thriller novel, which was also a film that was done back in the 90s. Variety know that episodes of the show will air linearly, or at the same time every week, meaning SmackDown could likely be kept at a 2-hour runtime for the duration of the show. Variety report did not mention anything about the WWE product or its future, nor did it mention how many episodes the Rainmaker will run for. SmackDown moved to 3 hours following Raw's departure from the network to air on Netflix starting back in January. Reports following WrestleMania 41 expect the Blue brand to go back to 2 hours as of June 6th, which obviously was not the case. Yeah, that sucks. Now we still got to sit through 3 hours every Friday. The most recent report from May from PW Insider Elite stated that internally, SmackDown was expected to continue for 3-hour episodes through June, despite initial plans for the show to move back 2 hours before then. So, yes, so hopefully this is the case. Hopefully this is true, that SmackDown will be going back to 2 hours because it desperately needs it. It's too long, and like I said, it's just too much to take in. We said this for years about Monday Night Raw since 2012, when Raw went to 3 hours every single week. No pro wrestling show, like I said, needs to be 3 hours. But
yeah, I agree.
what do you think of this news? So
I really hope
it'll be going back to 2 hours.
I really hope SmackDown does go back to 2 hours because 3 is just too long.
I agree. I very well agree. Hopefully they will learn, and hopefully we got a 2 hours SmackDown back. Okay, so moving on to the last topic here. Gotta talk about TNA, because of course Datila, huge TNA fan. If you haven't checked out her channel, she has done reviews of TNA in the past. She reviews TNA every Thursday on Body Slam. So if you're a TNA fan and you're watching this, definitely subscribe to Datila. Definitely subscribe to Body Slam. So I'll post the link to Datila's channel and Body Slam channel in the description down below, so you can check them both out. But TNA is launching a free tier of their streaming service, which Datila is subscribed to. It's called TNA Plus. And this is coming from TNAWrestling.com, of course. Got to go there. And this is the news that broke out today, which they're going to be doing a exclusive live stream of Impact from Pittsburgh on June 20th. So it says TNA announced today that it is launching a new free tier of its TNA Plus streaming service, expand access for fans around the world to experience the action, drama, and excitement that is TNA wrestling. To mark the occasion, TNA Plus will live stream an episode of Impact for free on Friday, June 20th. No surprise there. From the UPMC Event Center on the campus of Robert Morris University in Pittsburgh. The hometown star of TNA star Elijah, formerly known as Elias. Is he still having that awful, shitty gimmick still?
What?
Elijah?
He says, TNA, we walk this way. I actually like it. I like the gimmick.
Does he still have
pretty cool.
Does he still have the guitar and stuff?
Yeah, he does.
Oh God, I completely forgot.
He's actually teaming with Joe Henry.
Oh, that makes it even worse.
I actually like it. I don't mind it.
Oh God. In addition to high energy in-ring action, fans can expect a special birthday celebration for Elias, making the night even more memorable. Oh, great. This is a huge moment for TNA, said Carlos Silva, president of TNA Wrestling. The response to our growing momentum has been incredible and continues to build every week. With the launch of the free tier on TNA Plus, we're opening the door for everyone to watch TNA, whether you're a longtime fan like Datila or brand new to the product. It's never been easier to jump in and experience what makes TNA so special.
Actually, I'm not a longtime fan. I've only been watching TNA. It'll be 5 years this July that I've been watching TNA.
Oh, wow. I know you were watching TNA for a long while.
No, I've only been watching it for 5 years.
It says by registering for the free tier, fans can watch a curated selection of classic and current video on demand content, stream the 26th live episode of Impact with the sneak peek on Friday night of June 20th. Oh, so there you go, Datila. Watch a sneak peek on this Friday. Discover the top tier pro wrestling featuring stars such as Matt and Jeff Hardy, Ryan and Nick Nemeth, Joe Hendry, Mustafa Ali's in TNA.
Yeah, he just came back. He just came back not too long ago.
Oh wow!
Yeah, had a whole feud with Mike Santana.
That's a good feud there.
Mm-hmm.
Mustafa Ali and Mike Santana. That's money.
Oh, it was.
Steve Macklin, Brian Myers, Eddie Edwards, Moose, Eric Young, and knockouts such as Masha, Sia Movic, Tessa Blanchard, and Rosemary, among others.
Slamovich.
So, in addition, TNA will soon launch a 24/7 linear streaming channel called TNA 24/7, delivering around-the-clock wrestling content, and more details on the channel will be announced in the coming weeks. Now, with that being said, when it says right here they will launch a 24/7 linear streaming channel, it just makes me remember the WWE Network.
Yeah.
Man, I miss the network.
So
I miss
do
WWE Network. It was so easy to access, so easy to watch, old school shows on there.
Right? I actually really like the network. I miss it.
Yeah. I hate Peacock for doing that, for taking away the network. Or I blame WWE on that as well.
You got to go where the money is, though.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think of this, Datila, this news?
I think it's great. I think it's a great way to advertise TNA Plus, and I think it's a great way to get people to actually, buy a subscription so that they can watch TNA on a weekly basis.
There you go. It won't be on Access TV though.
TNA actually does air on Access TV, and that's why they do the subscription, because not everybody gets Access TV. I know before I had Sling TV with my old cable provider, I didn't get Access TV. Now I do, but I still don't watch it on Access TV. I watch it on the app.
Yeah, because I was gonna say they have. Did you say they used to have like a YouTube channel and they would put like TNA shows on there?
They had Twitch, so they were originally live streaming on Twitch, and then when they stopped Twitch, they went to YouTube, and they had like a subscription service on YouTube, and then they canceled YouTube and then put everything on the TNA Plus app.
Yeah, that says that they were in the pipeline of launching TNA Plus.
Yeah.
So if you guys are fans of TNA, there you go. TNA Plus. I don't know how much it is, though.
They have 2 different tiers. I think one is $9.99, and you get all the plus specials like Against All Odds, and you get and then the other one is called the Champion something. It's $200, and that includes all the pay-per-views. Nice.
So there you go. If you're fans of TNA, subscribe to TNA Plus, and you'll be getting that live show coming on June 26th. So, but with that being said, this is episode 8 of the Bell Call Podcast. This is it. Thank you for Datila for coming on, and of course she will be here just in case Noah can't make it, or with schedules, or when her schedule is good and free, she will be on here. She'll be a backup. So always enjoy having Datila on. She's of course a part of the podcast. Yeah, at points she could appear, as a guest at points with me and Noah, whenever she has time. But thank you, Datila. This was a fun episode, and thank you for coming on.
Of course, my pleasure, Michael. Always great to join you.
Thanks. But with that being said, this is episode 8, and hopefully next week we do episode 9. Noah will return, and hopefully that's the case, and we'll go live. So thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this. Let me know what you guys think of the topics in the comments down below. Share your thoughts, and we'll see you all next time. So
Bye.
see ya.